Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another Daily Dice, where we ask the dice a question about love today. Find out what that is, keeping in mind that these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary to do so in the description box down below. You can also email me for a private reading, or we'll get you out further information. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. Please forgive the nails. If you've been watching me, you know I am suffering some battle wounds from my move, and I'm waiting for them to heal a little bit more before I fix my nails. So, yeah, hang with me. I'm going to have some human nails for a little while. Alright, so let's get into it. Source, what is the daily dice in regards to love? What messages do you have for my fellow humans? What would you like them to know? What is the daily dice in regards to love? What messages do you have for my fellow humans? Whoa, still rolling. Okay, that's interesting. So we have the second house, Saturn, and Gemini energy. Wow. Okay. So a lot of difficulties in manifesting love. Knowing you're worthy of love. Knowing, too, with Gemini coming out here, knowing that you're worthy of your soulmate, whatever you call your soulmate. Whether that's just your soulmate, your twin flame, your counterpart, your person. Okay. Knowing that you're worthy of them. And that... Also, here's the other thing too, and it's coming up really strongly, but if you're struggling because your soulmate or your counterpart is treating you like less than, remembering that it is okay to walk away. It is okay because you deserve to be treated fairly and with respect and with dignity. And if somebody's not treating you in that way, you do not, nor are you ever obligated to stay in a situation like that, even if it is quote unquote your person. Okay, because they have their own journeys to go through and they have their own lessons to learn. And that's what's hard. Like, if you know about the twin flame journey, sometimes we're oftentimes in this place of like, oh, I'm just going to do enough healing to bring them in, not realizing that it's, yes, while our healing does affect them, it also is not controlling them. And separating those two ideas is oftentimes very difficult, but it does feel like there's been a struggle here. It feels like there's a struggle here in feeling like you deserve love, that you're worthy of love, that you can experience that. And there's also this question coming through, are you ready to be adaptable on your journey? Are you ready to open up to the possibility of who it could be rather than saying it has to be XYZ? You know? Well, Stan is the person that I see all the time, and it has to be Stan because he's the only one that I think about. Or, you know, Kelly is the person that's always on my mind, and if it's not her, then I don't know what I'm going to do. When we put people in this place of saying, you belong to me, or it has to be you and no one else, not only are we putting them at an unfair advantage because we're expecting them to understand what to do to heal in order to come towards us when they may not be capable of that. And two, we're not allowing ourselves to open up to the actual possibility of love and who Source has for us. We have a person out there, whether that's the person that we believe it to be or whether that's the person that Source knows it to be, those might not align. And sometimes it's very, very difficult for us to discern because our emotional ego is telling us it has to be, it has to be, it has to be. And our soul is asking us, open up, open up, open up, open up. And, you know, it's just a part of being human, but that's what it really feels like here, is that there's a struggle in being adaptable on this journey and sacrificing what you feel you know to be true so that you can open up to building a solid foundation with not only a partner, but this really feels like an internal foundation of understanding that you are worthy of being treated with respect and admiration and kindness, and you don't deserve to be put through the ringer, okay? Like, nobody does. And if you are being put by the ringer and you still continue to show up for this person, Where are you struggling internally with your own self-worth? Because that's saying that, oh no, I love this person so much that I'm willing to let them treat me like dirt because I'm not ready to let go, right? And that, look, I have been there plenty of times in my life. This is in no way, shape, or form a judgment. That is not what this is. Because the thing is that we all have to learn our own lessons, but there are some people who will manipulate us with this idea that, oh, they love me so much that no matter how I treat them, they'll never leave. And the truth is that someone can only take that so much before they say enough is enough, I'm out. And it's just, how long is that going to be for you if that's the case? Even if this is your twin, if this is your counterpart, if this is your soulmate or your person, whoever that is. And so I feel like Source is saying here, there's been a lot of difficulties. There's been a lot of patience on your end for someone to change. But through that patience on your end, what you're not realizing just yet is that you're opening up to a love that's meant for you. And they're saying to be open-minded because it may not be who you're expecting it to be. But when we put an expectation on it, we're already setting ourselves up for failure. And that's something that we should talk more about in the spiritual community. You know, expectations set us up for disappointment, no matter if that's in love, in life, in work, in job, in career. Expectations set us up for disappointment. So let's think about that. If you're expecting someone to be your forever person and that they have to fulfill some role, okay, and they're not capable of fulfilling that role because of their own decisions and their own journey, nothing that you had to do, nothing that you could have done, you cannot control another person's free will. Source doesn't even control our free will. That's the point of it. So if that's the case, then, you know, why are you allowing yourself to get caught up in that emotional ego place? You know, and those are questions that you have to answer yourself. On the bottom, though, we have rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break, and this feels like stepping away from this idea. You know, dolphins do represent the soulmate in our lives, and then for it to be on this card is very symbolic for this reading. It's like, it's okay for you to step back. We have number 42, which in numerology is 6, and 6 is all about finding a solution, balance, seeing yourself through eyes of love. So there's just this higher energy coming in here asking you to surrender to this process, which is much easier said than done. And oftentimes, I'm just going to be honest with you, if you are on this journey as a twin flame, not everybody is, okay? But even if you're on this journey for love, oftentimes what ends up happening is that we don't surrender until we're so fed up with the other person that we're like, you know what? Screw you. I'm done with you. I can't handle you. Get out of my face. Get out of my mind. Get out of my life. And it's like, once you're fed up, then you choose to surrender because you let it go. But then you constantly get reminded of that person because now you're in a state of resentment. And so, and honestly, I'm just talking from my own experience. We do have trine on the bottom here, angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. So you are getting assistance in this area. Okay, like you're not being left to attend to this by yourself. Like Source understands what you want. They know your heart's desire. Source created you. Source knows you better than you know yourself. So if Source is saying, hey, maybe this person that you're waiting around on just isn't the one for you, who do you think knows better? Because sometimes we're like, Source, I think you got that one wrong. And that's the human in us, right? And it's like, why do I hear that song by Lizzo right now? Yeah, I got boy problems, that's a human in me. Bling, bling, then I solve them, that's a goddess in me. Right? Like, that's it. That's the human in us. Like, we're like, oh no, God, you got this one wrong. Why don't you sit this one out? Because I know better. Who really knows better? Like, sometimes we just get so full of ourselves, and that's not you or anybody. That's just something that our ego puts us in. We're just like, nope, I got this. I figured this out on my own. And sometimes it's really hard. But see, this is something that you're absolutely healing from. But this is something that's deep, too. It's not something that's like, oh, let me easily get rid of this. Like, no, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a minute to get out, you know? You're learning. Yeah, look, Sacred Ibis. Look, we have 22 and 11 coming out together. So you may say 1122 or 2211 a lot, but we have learning and power. So you're learning to wield your own internal power here. But it is through being adaptable on your journey. You know, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and that's the rational mind and communication. And so we have this idea that the rational mind is what's leading us astray from our spirit. Sometimes that is very much the case. We have Giraffe here. See the bigger picture. Look at number 66 under that. White Raven Spirit. Trust in the magic. There's something magical that's going to come into your life, but it can't if you don't allow space for it. Okay, so we had this one fly out, slow down, pause and allow things to unfold. Look at this idea of like, that's who's on your mind all the time, but there's like this maze to go through to get to you. Like, I don't know if they're willing to take that. And there's nothing that you can do to make them do that. And can you be okay with that? Forgiveness with number 29, 11. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. And that's another thing. It's like, can you forgive the situation for not playing out the way you expected it to? Because it comes down to our expectations. That's why we have to forgive most times, is because we expected something from someone that they were never able to give us. And it's not our fault. It's not their fault. That's just our beliefs and our system that we grew up in, right? The societal construct tells us that it's everybody else's fault. And so whether you wanted to or not, you were given this belief because it's something that is so deeply rooted in us. That's my AC turning on. Yes, I flew south for the winter if you guys have it, but it is warm here. So we have Aquarius energy with originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. Yeah, so this is something that is going to impact your future in a very profound way. A very profound way. Fixed. And it's funny because fixed signs are oftentimes stubborn, right? But we have stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Again, so Aquarius energy may be very, very relevant for you. But it's also the interesting thing because the fixed sign is in the middle of the season. They don't like change, okay? And that is part of their genetic makeup. They're stubborn like that, and that's just something that they bring as a sign in a fixed sign. And so it does feel like this is something you've been very hesitant to let go of. And so Source is just bringing this up, like there's a journey that's awaiting you, but it feels like there's a standstill here in love because it's hard for you to let go of this tough love situation. We have Whale with Breach. It's like getting out of Dodge here, right? This card literally talks about getting out of your zip code for a little while, taking a break, right? Taking a break, slowing down, pause and allow things to unfold. Take a break, rest and relaxation, right? We all have a fundamental need to take a break. This is something that has been weighing on your heart for a long time. We have Red Fox with strategy here, number 3. You're clever. Here's the thing. You're very intelligent. This is not questioning your intelligence. If they want you to strategize this, okay? They want you to look at this situation from a logical place, but they also don't want your logical mind to rule you. They need your heart to rule you. And it's like, I can already hear some of you, well, the heart wants what the heart wants. We get that. But sometimes, even though the heart wants it, it doesn't mean that it's right for us. Number 52, Scarab Beetle Spirit, magic works through you. So there's something magical that's trying to happen here. Okay, I'm not saying that this is with the person on your mind. I'm saying that Source is trying to bring in some sense of magic. Okay? Number 8, life is a mystery. Boom. We don't know it all. You know, only a fool thinks they know it all. And that's true because, like, I said on one of my earlier readings that I did, actually, it's the one that Why Are Women Secretly Attracted to? There was a pile in there that I mentioned that, you know, we think that it has to be a certain way. Like, we really believe that things have to be X, Y, Z, this, that, and the other, and that's the only way that it can be. Well, when we say that it has to be a certain way, Source has a really entertaining way of showing us that that is not at all how it is. And that's with everything in life. Let's get some yin-yang cards on it. But with the life is a mystery here and being number 8, we do have this karmic energy coming through here. And when you do heal the karmic energy, that you'll be able to bring in abundance. But are you willing to look at the karmic aspect that you might be bringing into this situation? Even if it is scary, because letting go of something that you thought it had to be can be very frightening. You know, it's like maybe you had an ex that you had to let go of, the same thing. It was very frightening to let them go, but you knew they were no good for you. And then when you let them go, you felt better, right? But see, it's easy to see that now because you're out of the situation. But when you were head in on the situation, you couldn't see that. Because the situation that we have now is that whoever this is that you've been wanting to come in, they're very disharmonious with your journey. There's a lot of triggers and a lot of conflict that's being brought up here. I'm going to leave this out because I feel like this is very, very valuable to this reading here. So let's see what we've got going on. Yeah, you're being activated to come into your higher self here, okay? Which means that you may be raising to a level that this person's just not ready to go to. Because they have doubts, not about the connection, not about you, but about themselves. And that's not something that you'll ever be able to control. They're very closed off right now. They're guarded. They're resistant to change. What was I saying? Stubborn, right? Very stubborn. And that may be you feeling their energy. You may be absorbing their energy, and that's why you feel so resistant to changing this, is because you're harboring some of their energy in your own. But see, what Source wants you to find is your own stability, harmony, and flow, and to come into peace with yourself, with the journey. Self-love, creation. Your intentions mean everything. Right now is a time for you to love yourself. It's been hard. You've wanted love for a long time. We get that. But what's important now is to love yourself to the point of knowing who you are and knowing that no matter what comes into your life, you'll always be stable. You'll always be in your own flow. You're being initiated here. Okay? There's someone in your energy that's just not with it. They're just not with this journey like that. And that's okay. It's not right or wrong. It just simply is. And sometimes we have to move away from that because it's just not good for us, right? So I'm sorry that this isn't a more like, oh my gosh, love is coming next week. Like, but sometimes it's what we need to hear. We need to be reminded that we are worthy of what we're asking for. And Source knows what that is. I did not intend for this reading to go on for so long, but like the light just went out. But if you do feel like this is your reading, leave a little fox emoji down below and say, I call in my initiation, to let Source know you're calling in this higher vibrational energy. And leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.